Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of The Source. Continuing on with college football week 2. We're off to a great start this season. We've had 3 college football weeks, 1 NFL week. All 4 have been green for me. So let's keep that rolling. Let's keep the positivity rolling. I got a Big Ten matchup here. Penn State on the road in Illinois. Remember, Illinois beat them the last time they saw them back in 2021. That was. Line sitting at Illinois plus 14.5 right now. Total sitting at 48.5.
Welcome to The Source. The Source. Source. Hey, get the Source.
As expected, action's all over Penn State in this one. Tickets all over Penn State. Handle all over Penn State. Line has not moved a muscle, which is kind of terrifying if you like Penn State in this one. Really curious to see what the line's going to do in this one, because if they're taking Penn State action all the rest of this week up to kickoff and the line's still sitting at 14.5, means the odds makers really like their position on Illinois plus 14.5. So like we were talking about last week, we've seen the Illinois defense just fall off a cliff after losing defensive coordinator Ryan Walters. Obviously, as we said last week, he took the head coaching job over at Purdue. You could make an argument that the Illinois defense was the best in the entire country. I mean, most people probably say Georgia, but Illinois was top 2 or 3. But Walters leaves, superstar corner Devin Witherspoon gets drafted 5th overall by the Seahawks, and now we're looking at the remains of last year's Illinois defense. They opened up the season at home and gave up 28 points to the Toledo offense. Just wow. Then follow that up by getting lit up by Kansas. And I mean, look at these scores. These are just not scores we're used to seeing when it comes to Illinois. Kansas had 534 yards of offense in the game, 44 carries for 262 yards on the ground. Illinois had 0 answers for Jalen Daniels in the Jayhawks offense. So maybe you're listening to this and you're thinking, well, Kyle, that game was on the road in Kansas. This one's at home in Illinois. I'm sure the defense will be better. Okay, glad you brought that up. Let's take a look at what DeQuan Finn and Toledo's offense did in week 1. 416 yards of offense, 186 yards rushing on 4.4 yards per carry. Toledo did that. What the hell is Penn State about to do to this defense? And it gets even scarier than that when you look at the Illinois offense in the Kansas game. Just 341 yards of offense. Altmaier was sacked 6 times. And the reason that's absolutely terrifying, Kansas defense was truly terrible last year. One of the worst defenses in the country. The Kansas pass rush is too much for Illinois to handle. Yo, they're about to play Penn State. Did you see what Penn State's defense just did to West Virginia in week 1? WVU is supposed to have a pretty tough run game this year. They brought back their entire offensive line and all 3 running backs. They ran the ball 40 times for just 3.7 yards per carry on Penn State. Garrett Green couldn't get shit going through the air either, just 16 of 27, 162 yards, 61.6 QBR. I know this game was at home in Happy Valley, but I expect the West Virginia offense to be better than the Illinois offense this year. I don't think people realize how truly good this Penn State defense is projected to be this year. Phil Steele has their defensive line ranked 3rd in the country, linebackers ranked 4th, and DBs ranked 1st. As far as best defenses in the country go, you got Georgia 1st, then Clemson and Penn State 2 and 3 right after it. One positive thing I will say about Illinois is I think the kid Altmaier looks pretty good at quarterback. I really like that 7.6 yards per attempt. I know the 3 interceptions is going to scare some people, but this kid's getting the ball downfield and he's making plays. He's also got 139 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns on the ground as well. He's only a sophomore. I think there's going to be opportunities for us to make money betting on this kid, but against Penn State's defense, #1 ranked secondary in the entire country, this just does not sound like the spot for it. I would love to give you a couple angles on why you should take Illinois plus 14.5. I truly would. It's a home game, the Big Ten West. Well, Penn State's in the East, but it's a conference game. I mean, 14.5 points at home, I'd love to. I'm just not seeing it. I really like the matchup for Penn State on both sides of the ball. And then you add on the fact that Illinois beat Penn State in Happy Valley on their home field the last time they played. There's a revenge factor too. I mean, I think everything's pointing to Penn State in blowout fashion here. Look, it's not one of my favorite bets of the weekend, and it's so insanely public that I don't know if I could actually pull the trigger on it. I'm going to wait this one out, but as of right now, I'm going to say Penn State minus 14.5 or pass. I'll let you know what my final decision is on the live show Saturday morning at 11 a.m. If you want my top bets, parlay of the day, if you want to join the Discord, or if you want to join the Against the Spread competitions to win the giveaways that I do, all that information can be found on KyleKirms.com. College football week 3, starting to see some conference play. I like it. We're off to a good start. Let's keep it going. Remember to bet responsibly, and I'll talk to you on Twitter.